The police command in the Federal Capital Territory, in collaboration with other security agencies in the FCT, last inaugurated the second phase of a special anti-crime operation codenamed Operation G7. A statement by the Police Public Relations Officer in the FCT, DSP Josephine Ade, said that the operation was inaugurated to combat violent crimes in the FCT and other neighboring states. Now, she said that the second phase of the Operation G7 was an improvement on the first phase inaugurated earlier in the year. DSP Josephine Ade joins us here in the studio to discuss measures that have been put in place to combat insecurity during this festive period. Thank you so much for joining us on Daybreak.
Thank you for having me again.
You're welcome. All right. Well, let's start with the Operation G7. What are some of the updates on that, and how far has that come as far as addressing some of the issues that it sets out to deal with?
Well, the operation has been very helpful, and we've been getting a lot of achievement with this operation. And the good thing is it's no longer just within the suburb, but it's also within the city center. Like today, as I speak to you now, they are about to embark on another operation around Durumi. So I'm sure a lot of people will see them and will be like, there's no cause for panic. We're just taking measures, and we've been working with intelligence. So anywhere we have intelligence, we're moving. And you can agree with me that this period is a period where we have rise in criminal activities. So we've been up and doing, and the Operation G7 is complementing the operational order we have in place for this season. So it's been yielding a lot of results, and we've been intercepting some of the criminal elements plans, and within this period that the Operation G7 was flagged up, we have a lot of achievement, and there's a bit the tension and the criminal activities has reduced to the minimum. So that's
okay.
What
can you give us an idea of like some of the arrests that have been made, and then the kinds of crimes that we've seen in recent times?
Yes, like the first day the Operation G7 was flagged up, we made about three. We intercepted some these hoodlums that were about to launch a kidnapping on some people within the suburb. That very first day, we were able to neutralize one, and we arrested about 3 of them. And there is one again we neutralized day before yesterday, and today we I'm sure we'll get more on that, because they are back in the city center, and based on intelligence, they are back because we got a very strong intelligence that some activities are going on within that Durumi area. So they are there now, and I'm sure with what we have on ground, definitely you will hear the update later.
Okay. Well, this happens to be a very tough period. Not only having to be a festive period whereby we know a lot of these things actually escalate, but it's also political season as well, whereby we have pockets of clashes here and there. There's always been this growing concern, or this growing talk that the police is undermanned and will not be able to cover everywhere that needs to be covered. For example, in a place like Abuja, it's actually very widespread. How true is that, if that is the case, and if so, what are you doing to mitigate that?
Those are people's analysis, not the police anyway. Okay. So we know what we have on ground. Sometimes we don't usually go about bragging what we have, but we definitely have, and the government have been very supportive. And this present IG has been acquiring a lot of equipment for us, and he has been doing a lot of things for us. And the attention have moved down to the police, I guess, because of what perception people have about the police. That is no longer the case. If you watch most of the activities of the police now, you find out that even we received a lot of vehicles within the city center from the minister himself, and those vehicles were deployed to those areas needed. And if you look around, you see the vehicles, they have been put in use, and a lot of things we gotten from the government. And those what people think that the police are not capable. The police are very, very capable, and we have a lot of equipment that you'll be surprised. And we've been using them. If we've not been using them, things wouldn't have been a bit in control like this.
When it comes to manpower and equipment,
no, we don't have any problem in that aspect. Even though we cannot say we have, you cannot begin to say you have enough, you still want more. But with what we have, it's not a problem. We work with what we have.
Okay, so let's talk about the Yuletide season and the deployments that are being made right now. With the resources available to you, what kind of deployment is ongoing right now with regards to ensuring we have a safety, I would say safe celebration in this season? Well,
we in the FCT, the Commissioner of Police has been very proactive, because there's this operational order we call it operational order. That is a plan, the strategy on how we intend to provide cover this security within the FCT. And usually it comes late, but this time around it came early towards the ending of November was when the operational order was out. So we've strategized. We've had areas where are vulnerable. We planned on deployment. There's massive deployment, and we've even been able to contact the IG. That is why we are even enjoying our closeness with the Force Headquarters, because they have some units there that was deployed down to FCT, mainly because of this season, and they've been deployed. And we've been doing massive raiding. And this raiding is another topic on its own, because a lot of citizens, a lot of residents have been complaining about police raiding all the time, even when it's 7 o'clock. And we've been telling them to cooperate with the police, because where it's just measures that we put in place to wipe out and all this criminal element, because the criminality within the FCT is on the rise, as you earlier mentioned. So we are conducting this raiding mostly in the night and also during the day. During the days, when we do these raidings, are mostly when we have intelligence that there are a group of persons or criminal elements in a particular place. We're moving. We are not waiting for it to happen. We are now taking proactive measures. So the raiding is going to be constant, and is going to be aggressive. So members of the public are to be aware and to also cooperate with the police. Well, once we raid, we pick you up. You are mostly likely to be found at the wrong place at the wrong time. But that's not withstanding. We go back to the station, profile you, and when we find out that you are not found wanting, we allow you to go.
Okay, so that's one area where I was actually going. An Olympian that played for Nigeria in 1992 and 1996, Ambassador Christy Opara, is accusing the Nigerian police, especially the FCT Police Command, of extortion. Some of the operatives are said to be extorting people when they raid communities, particularly in areas like the Kadokuchi Jahi area. And she is saying that sometimes when these raids happen, innocent people are arrested and at the end of the day detained, and then sometimes they are being made to pay certain amounts of money to be freed and all that. So what's your response to this, Ray?
Well, not just she, we've been receiving complaints like that, but when we checked, we find out that most of those complaints are not valid. because mostly when you pick residents or you raid, you take them and profile them. So sometimes in a situation where you have this problem is they want you to release them, because if you raid in the night, there's a particular time that is not even safe for the person to go home. So we now keep you and tell you to stay. In the morning you can go home. And these people will now insist on leaving the station at that time. So there's a particular incident where I was called also, and then I find out that the man said yes, they allow him to go, but the DPO is insisting that he stay until morning, but he wants to go. I say, but it's dangerous for you. And then the issue of that extortion, I have also been calling on them. There are numbers. We also always give out numbers called the PCB lines, where if you are being extorted or any police misconduct, call that numbers. Come with the proof so that we can be able to fish out those people who are committing all these offenses. But they don't come up. In a situation where you don't come up, it means it doesn't happen.
No, but you know how it is sometimes trying to, communicate. Sometimes people don't even have these numbers, to be honest. Sometimes some of the people that are engulfed in this are not the people that perhaps, have access to, these phone lines and even maybe being able to communicate to their
But the way they are reaching to you, the way they are reaching to me with this complaint is the same way I'm giving those numbers too.
So you see, now some of the people raising these concerns are just maybe concerned Nigerians who are more enlightened, who are better placed to be able to voice out on all of that.
And when they reach out to you,
when you look at that.
When they reach out to you, those concerns Nigerians, I always ask them to also reach out to those people through with these numbers so that they can be able to call me directly or call the next person on the desk directly so that we can be able to get those people that are doing this. But as far as I am concerned, and with what I have gone to these stations in the night to even check when I receive a call that if they are being extorted. I go to these stations to check if your statement was taken and check whoever, all those police officers on duty at the time of, or those who are in charge of those who were taken in during the raid. I checked all those things. I didn't see anything of such, but I see the complaint and I respond to them. Use this number, call this number, because you have to give me a detail on how to get these people. By the time you don't come up or you don't see something, the problem will not go. But this raid will not stop. We have to be, for the safety of others, we have to continue this raid. It's an operational strategy that is helping us, and we have been getting results, because most of the time when we raid, if we raid about 75%, you get like 25% of people who are found wanted.
And just to be clear, I mean, like, these raids are not just randomly carried out.
No, they are not just randomly carried out.
Yes.
We are working with intelligence. When we get intelligence, we're moving.
Okay, so are there places to avoid for people who sometimes will be in the wrong place at the wrong time? They are innocent, but for some reason they happen to be in those locations where you are raiding and all of that. Are there things that people need to know about certain areas to avoid so that they don't get engulfed in?
Yes, there are some flash areas. Usually it's intelligence. You may be in a place and we have an intelligence that there is a criminal activity going on there. You may not likely know what is going on there. You are just there probably in a football, you're watching your football somewhere, taking your drinks, and we have an intelligence that somebody is there that we're looking for. Definitely we're moving. And when we're moving, definitely we are going to pick up some innocent people too. And that is where the profiling comes in. We now take to the station, we profile you there, and we know who we are looking for. We get them.
All right, well, it's generally believed, or that is the case, that security is everybody's business. And we've been encouraged, lots of people have been encouraged to actually come forward when they have relevant information, go to the police and all that. But there's a fear, always a fear, that if I come forward with a piece of information, the police might not be able to protect my identity or protect me from reprisals and all of that. What are we doing towards that direction?
Well, it's what we've been working on, because that is an issue of trust. People don't really trust the security agencies around, and it's really affecting our job. When you trust us, you would definitely come up to give us information. But we've been telling and trying to talk to people to trust the police. Security should be everybody's business. And we always say, when you see something, say something. We are always protecting you. It's not like when you call me and tell me that there is an issue or situation, you give me information. People have been coming up, do this is fair. It's not like before. You tell me there's an information like that I need, and then I will start going there to go and tell, oh, Sadiq told me. No, we don't do that. We are more professional now than that. If it used to happen, it doesn't happen again. People need to trust the police and save others. If you don't want to save yourself, but you can also be a good citizen to save others by giving us that information. Call us. The information, just give us a detail, and we know how to get in. We know how to handle that situation. There was somebody who came on Twitter and gave me an information about a certain child that was abused and all that. He gave me the information, gave me the address and everything. And then I contacted the DPO around that place. And they went and they saved that child. Up to today, I don't even know who that person is. It's just a random person on Twitter that sent me a message. But he gave me a good and a full details. And we were able to work with that.
All right, just to buttress that fact, you just made mention of Twitter right now. I'm seeing a trend of PPROs coming up using social media, most especially Twitter, and to engage with people. How effective has that been?
Well, the IG even gave me a letter of commendation, because within the FCT, I think we are one of the best social media handlers. We're doing our best, and it's helping. And why we are back on Twitter is, you know, when you are working, you are fighting crime and all that. I think a lot of Nigerians now use Twitter, so they feel more comfortable reporting or talking on Twitter. So we too have to go on Twitter to get more of people's complaint and to interact and inject ourselves within the what is the trend now. So Twitter is the trend, and we're there and we're doing our best, and they've been very cooperating and supportive. Probably that is why I got the commendation from the IG.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's talk about we've touched on that, previously, but I'd like you to talk in more specific terms about the festive period, about the places not to go to, the times not to be out of your home, and some of the security measures that people can take on their part to ensure safety for themselves. Well,
because you have police in the FCT, you can go anywhere. You are free to go anywhere, because we are doing our job very well. The only thing you have to be doing is to be security conscious. And also, when you notice any suspicious activities around, or while you are driving, or even around you where you are, please don't hesitate to put a call to us. But we have been securing every area, so FCT is free. It's safe for you to move around anytime you want to, but just be security conscious.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Daybreak and giving us this heads up as we approach the Yuletide season. DSP Josephine Day, the Public Relations Officer, FCT Police Command. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.